Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel once again. Let's make this beautiful flake gown, a milkmaid kind of dress. I know you love it. So the first thing I did was to mark out my pattern on a brown paper, and I marked my armhole at 9, my breast point, which is 10 and a half. I added 1 inch to it and marked it at 11 and a half. And then my underbust, which is 14 and a half, I marked at 15 and a half. Waistline, which is my half length, that is 17 and a half, I marked at 18 and a half. Okay, so the trick is to your underbust, breast point, and waistline, you add 1 inch allowance to it. Now this is my shoulder, which is 16 divided by 2, 9 plus 1, 10. And then I marked it my bust, which is 40 divided by 4, 10 plus 2, 12. My waistline 33 divided by 4, and I added 2 inches, and then I went ahead to cut that out. Okay, very simple. If you watched to this point, please do want to subscribe. If you've not, like, comment, and share. Thank you. Let's get back to this tutorial. Now the next thing I did was to mark out 7 inches, which is where you would want your bust line to start. If you want it to go down more, you can as well do that, but because I'll be adding a rope at the center of this dress, I wouldn't want it to go down more because I can drag it as low as I want to drag it. Very simple. Okay, so I have to cut the 7 inches out. I will not be using that, will not be needing it. So now to my fabric, I will transfer what we've cut on the paper to my fabric. I'm going to be cutting out the back part first, and then I added 1 inch to my zipper allowance, as you see me doing right now. So the best thing to do is to actually pin your pattern down to your fabric so that it does not move when you're cutting it out. So I went ahead and cut that out. Easy peasy. I know you're enjoying the video till now, and if you have any questions, do well to drop it in the comment section, and I promise to answer all of your questions. Now the next thing I did was to take down the back a little bit more because I want the back to go lower. Okay, so I placed my tape at 7, which we removed, and then mark out 9, and then have to get the armhole. Went in by 6, and then went down by extra 1 inch. Hope you understand. And then just mark that and cut it out. Okay, I repeat, I went in by 6 from the zip allowance, and then went down by extra 1 inch from the armhole and cut it out. That is very simple. And then I went ahead to mark my zip allowance. Okay, so I don't miss that. Yeah, and then cut that into 2 and set that aside. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring back my pattern. That is me marking the waistline, the underbust, and then the bust point. So from the underbust, I'm going to be cutting that out. Okay, just cut it out like so. Set aside the waistline and then transfer your pattern to your fabric. Now this is the trick. For the front, we're not leaving out, we're not giving any allowances because this front is not going to have zip, but there's going to be a rope at it. Okay, so you pin that down, and then you go straight to your armhole area. Okay, now what you're going to do is to add extra 10 inch to the length of your to the length of your bust part, which is from the up part to your under bust. Just add extra 10 inches to it because you're going to be gathering it up, so it will give that effect when you drag the center. Okay, now this is me actually marking and adding my extra 10 inch allowance to that. And then what I did next was to get the same measurement I have for my bust and transfer it down to that part, which is 12 obviously, and then I connected the dots together. Okay, now I will just have to cut that out. Remember, we're gathering the side and also adding a rope to gather the front, the center as well. So I went ahead to cut, and voila, that is just it. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to actually get the armhole for the front as well. So like I did at the back, I went in by 6 and also went down by extra 1 inch. That is just it. Okay, and then mark that out and cut it out. Okay, it is very understandable, right? Now after I'm done doing this, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut the waistline that we actually removed. Okay, for this one I'll be cutting 2 of it, not just one. I'll be cutting 2 of it. Okay, because I'll be using one to actually turn it in by the time I'm saying. So when we get there, you actually understand, right? Now after I'm done doing that, next thing I'm going to do is to get the full length of my dress, the full length. So my full length is 38. I marked that at 39 and a half because I'll be folding the down part of it. Okay, I'll be piping down the down, and then got my half length at 17 and half and cut that out. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is just to repeat until I get to the end part of it. Don't fear, the fabric is still equal, like the cotton is equal, nothing to be worried about. I can only do this on Ankara and not all Ankara materials though. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut out the lining for the part under the lining, which is the arm and no, the upper part and also the back part and the down part. That is it. So now the next thing I did was to simply attach my lining to the fabric itself, or should I say to the main material itself, attaching the lining to the ankara. Okay, so I marked out the center and then took it to my machine, the wrong part facing down, so the right part facing down, so I'm sewing on the wrong part right now. So after I'm done doing that, I have to like hold that down, top stitch it like so. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the both sides together, like join the lining on the both sides. Okay, like that. If you've not subscribed, please do what to subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you. So after I'm done doing that, I'll just turn that out like so, and then also sew the down part. Okay, just close down the down part like I'm doing right now. Make sure that everything is equal. Make sure you set your material, very important. It makes your work look very neat. Okay, so I'll just sew the down part like that. Right now I'm sewing on the right part of the dress. Like you saw, I turned it out. Okay, yeah, so you just sew it like that, and yeah, always cut out your excess thread. So the same thing I did at the front, I'll be doing at the back, and then I'll go iron it out. So this is it, all ironed, well laid flat, and yeah, looking so beautiful. So this is actually the strap I'll be joining at the front to make a hole for the thread for the rope I'll be adding at the center part of it. Okay, now this is the rope I'm adding at the center part of it. So what I'm going to do is just to fold it like that, a double fold on the side and then fold at the center. Okay, so it can hide the rough edges, and then head over to my machine and just run a quick one on that. So you can actually do it this way, or you just sew on the wrong side of fabric and turn it out. Okay, me, I prefer to do it this way. It leaves it nice, flat and beautiful. Okay, so I did 2 of that, and now to the one that will guard the center, just go ahead and mark the center, fold it into 2, mark the center. Okay, Now place it on your material, center to center. All right, make sure it's at the center part of it, and then you at just sew it at the middle, at the center part, not the side right now. Sew it at the middle. Okay, it's very very important that you get in the middle. All right, if possible, iron it down before you do. Okay, yeah. And then when you get to the upper part of it, just fold in like I'm doing right now. Fold it in and then complete your sewing. Now for the side, you just have to fold the side in. Make sure that the gap you're leaving will actually be okay for your rope to pass through it. All right, but at the same time, make sure you're keeping your fabric nice and flat. Now do that for the both side, and then go ahead with the use of your safety pin. Add the rope to it. So this is me done adding the rope to it and actually dragging it down. You see why I said you can actually let your fabric, you don't need to cut the front to go lower, because the rope is going to do that job for you. So the next part of is going to be me using, with the help of my gather stitches, I'll just gather the sides together. So this is what it's looking right now and all. And now the next part is for me to add the waistline that we cut out, that is from the underbust to the waistline. Okay, let's just call that a band. Now that band that we cut out, we just have to attach it to it. Remember, we cut two of it, so mark the center, one on the right part, which is right part facing the right part of the band facing the right part of the dress. Okay, you pin it down like that. Make sure it's at the center, and then also the other part of it, you also pin it down as well. Make sure everything is equal. Okay, make sure you're getting everything equal, right? That is very very important. Okay, yeah. And then you go ahead and sew it. Make sure you're sewing from the center to the side and then center to the side, right? So this is what the inner part is looking like right now. As you can see, we are not seeing the hem, we're not seeing any loose ends, right? And it's looking so beautiful and so nice, cute. You all can agree with me on that. So go ahead and stitch up the down part of it just to hold it together, and then set that aside. All right, now we're gonna be working on the back part of this dress, which we're not gonna be doing much. So the simple thing we're going to do is just to add the darts to the back. Now I'm going to go in by 4 inches, marking by 4. Now the darts depends on your measurements. You can actually use 4 or 3.5 depending on your measurement. So for my measurements, I'm using 4 inches for this. Now go ahead and sew that. So I'm done sewing it, pinning the zip allowance together. We're adding the zip and then pinning the front to the back right now. So it is the back, the front facing the front, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mark out my bust measurement. So remember, while cutting we divided it by 4. Now while sewing that together, gonna just divide it by 2, which is 40 by 2 is 20, and then my waistline, which is 33 inches, divided by 2 is 16.5. So you mark it like so, and then go ahead and connect those lines. Okay, connect the bust to the waist and do the same on the other side, and simply run that through your machine. Now the upper part is almost completed. So if you've watched to this part, hope you're enjoying the video, and do what to subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you. And if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section below and I'll be answering all of your questions. Okay, now let's work on the sleeve. Sorry I did not show you guys or explain when I cut the sleeve. So the sleeve cutting is very simple. Just your sleeve measurements minus remove 4 from the upper part, and then depending on how you want it gathered or fluffy, and that is just it. Okay, now all I'll be doing is I'll be piping the down and then the upper part of it, because I want it to have, it's an elastic sleeve actually, So there's going to be an elastic at the upper part, and then an elastic at the down part of it. So you see me folding it down right now. I'm going to do the same for the upper part of it. Okay, now just like that, just fold the upper part of it and just run it through like you did at the down part. Okay, so after you're done doing that, right, you have to cut out your elastic. Now I'm cutting my elastic with 10 inches. Okay, we'll be needing two of that, one for the up part and one for the down part, right? Now with the help of your safety pin again, just go ahead and insert your elastic to your sleeve. All right, just be patient with this. Do not rush it, because if you rush it you might end up doing this twice. Okay, so while inserting that, always concentrate on the other side and make sure it does not go in to the dress, to the part, to the point that you cannot that it exceeds the starting point. Okay, so now after you're done doing that, go ahead and hold the two ends together, stitch them down like that so it does not move. All right, that is very much needed. Just stitch it down like I'm doing right now, and then stitch down the other side as well. Now this same thing you did for this up part of your sleeve, go ahead and do it for the down part of your sleeve as well. Now as you can see, there's an elastic at the upper part and then also an elastic at the down part of the sleeve. All right, so after you're done doing that, just go ahead and join the sleeve together with just 1 inch allowance. Okay, join that together like so, and then do the same thing for the other sleeve, and go ahead and join your sleeve to the upper part of your dress, just from the center and then the center of your armhole, just so that like that. So this is what we have after we've attached the sleeve to the upper part of the dress. Now let's work at the down part of the dress. Let's work on the down part of the dress. All we're going to do is just to gather the down part of the dress. I did not say you should pleat it. You can pleat it if you want to, but for me I'll be gathering it with the help of my gathering stitches, or my gather stitches rather. So I'm done doing that right now, and I've also piped down or folded the down part of my dress. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and attach the down part to the upper part of the dress. We are almost done with this. You see how easy it is to actually make this beautiful dress. Okay, and I hope you're gonna be trying this. If you try out this, please just let me know, share it with me. Okay, tag me to it when you upload it, or maybe just send it to me on my Instagram page and I will see it. All right, yeah, so just go ahead and join the down part and the upper part together. Okay, and that is just it. Very simple. While you're joining the down part to the upper part, just be careful so you do not rip your gather stitches apart. That's very important, because if you do, you will be starting from beginning to do your gathers again. Now we are just done sewing with this dress. So the next thing I'm going to just add the zip, and voila, we're done. So now my dress is ready after I've added the zip. Thank you guys for watching. I know you love it. Rate my dress in the comment section from 1 to 10. See you guys in my next video. Bye.